Aso Rock watch as Buhari woos Obasanjo, Jonathan orders. Two other talking points. On October 23, President Muhammadu Buhari asserted that the protest by youths against the excesses of the disbanded Special Anti-Robbery Squad (SARS) of the Nigerian Police Force was hijacked and misdirected. Speaking at a virtual meeting with all former heads of state in Abuja, he said, among others, unfortunately, the protesters refused to call off the protest and engage the government to address their grievances. Instead, it became emboldened and gradually turned violent. Though routine Buhari meeting with ex-head of state couldn't have come a better time, the chaos precipitated by the NSAS warranted a dialogue of any kind to dose the tension spiraling out of control. The consultations were, therefore, in order. How well Buhari was able to justify his response to the national crisis remains a subject of discourse. The initial reaction, as has been reported, is that the former leaders lent support to the incumbent in the steps he had taken to remedy the situation. This is not totally unaccepted and find justification in the principle of esprit de corps. However, it remains to be seen if the reaction of this club of former head of states tallies with the thinking of the majority of Nigerian youths who argued that Buhari administration cannot be trusted given past antecedents. Insinuations remain rife that security agents infiltrated the peaceful protesters with hoodlums who then gave the event a violent coloration. Some videos that have seen gone viral on social media shows SUVs picking up thugs, some with weapons, moving out to attack the protesters. None of these have gone off the internet. It will also be extremely difficult to absorb the Nigerian military, which has Buhari and its commander-in-chief of being complicit of the October 20 Lekki massacre of unarmed protesters by men of the Nigerian Army uniform. While Mr. President and his club of former head of state pat themselves for a job well done, they may not do well to continuously fill the purse of the populace or risk living in a full paradise. In a national address to the nation on October 22nd, President Buhari said that some people misunderstood the promptness with which he acted to agree to the 5-point demand of NSAS protesters as a sign of weakness. Sadly, the promptness with which we have acted seem to have been misconstrued as a sign of weakness and twisted by some for their selfish and patriotic interest, the president averred. To say that Buhari was literally dragged to address the nation following the October 20th killing at the Lekki tollgate and the resultant spate of violence in several states of the nation is not exaggeration. This unexpected disposition portrayed Mr. President as slow and insensitive to the plight of people he governs. Perhaps Mr. President needs to come to terms with the fact that a quick response to wishes of the people cannot be termed as weakness. Rather, such an act is capable of earning him enormous goodwill, enough to win him over as a responsive leader. The damage has been done. President Buhari must realize stands to diminish the political capital accruing to the ruling All Progressive Congress (APC) over the years. On October 23, Femi Adesina, the special advisor on media and publicity to President Muhammadu Buhari, attempted a defense of his principle regarding why he failed to mention the Lagos shooting of unarmed NSAS protesters in his address of the nation. Speaking on Channel's television program Politics Today, he said it would have been premature and presumptuous if the president had mentioned it. Adesina had asserted the defense headquarters issued a statement to say that it was investigating the matter. Lagos State Governor has also set up a probe panel to investigate what really happened. So the president couldn't have said anything because it would be premature and presumptuous while investigation is ongoing. It is after investigation has been concluded that he can speak on that matter. Adesina is merely bearing a cross he's signed to carry. Even as he obtains cognizance must be made to what is universally expected and unquestionably right. The silence of the president has generally been regarded as a missed opportunity. At the time the country was in demand of national healing, a show of empathy might just have assuaged the anger and bitterness that have enveloped the land. For many critics, the missed opportunity might have been the trigger for the wanton looting and burning of private and public properties. As the nation struggles to rise from the ruins of the protest, the lesson to take away is that there is no better approach to managing a crisis than to anticipate and prepare proactively for it. More importantly, it bears repetition to say that truth cannot be covered. And indeed, the truth cannot be covered. That is it. The truth cannot be overemphasized. And some people say we don't have a president. And even some said, even his wife shouted, "This is not my husband." We all know the truth about President Buhari and so many things Nigerians kept being confused about all of this because, of course, Femi Adesina is one person that knows how to cover things up a lot himself. And Lai Mohammed, they are one problem that Nigeria has today because really, even when they say the truth, they try to cover it with all forms of lies. How can he say that if the president had talked about the Lekki shooting, it would have been presumptuous? It is not. It is what it is. It happened. People died. People were injured. So he should have just related and said something about it. But see how they are still trying to cover up and giving excuses as to what has already happened. If indeed, even if it did not happen, for the fact that a lot of Nigerians came out that, in fact, the governor of Lagos State visited some of the injured, even if nobody died. Let's assume nobody died. I think that is enough for him to just speak about that some were injured because of the shots that went out on that particular day. So how come Femi Adesina is saying that is presumptuous? If he had mentioned that, that is really no excuse. That is a leader that does not have empathy. That is a leader that does not show that he is proactive to the cries of the people. That is a leader that has failed the nation, and indeed he has indeed failed everyone because no one expected that from a father of the nation. But all the same, guys, that is it from here. Thank you for listening. Don't forget to drop your comment and also give this video a thumbs up. Do have a pleasant time. Bye for now.